Hey everyone, today we're going to continue the topic of how to read sheet music, specifically how rhythm is presented. Last week we talked about how the notes are shown in the sheet music, so if you missed that video, go check the description below and come back to this video. As I've said so many times, piano is more than just hitting the right notes, it's about getting the right feel and rhythm. So being able to read that in the sheet music is very important, so let's get into it. So let's take a look at a blank piece of sheet music. As you can see, there's the treble clef and the bass clef. And if you don't know what that means, go check the video in the description below because I talk about that. But right next to the clefs, there is something called a time signature. And in this case, the time signature is 4/4. What this basically means is that there is going to be 4 beats in each measure. And you may be wondering, what is a beat and what is a measure? And it's pretty simple. Think about how there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. This top 4 basically means there are 4 seconds or beats in each minute or section of music. So let's take a look at the sheet music and you'll see that there are sections, right? The sections are divided by these things called bar lines, and the space between each bar line is a section of music. And in our case, this 4, the top 4, basically means that there's going to be 4 beats in that measure. It could be a 3 or a 2, right? There will be only 3 beats in each measure or 2 beats in each measure. But in this case, it's 4. Each note that you put into a measure takes up a specific amount of beats. So let's take our first note value. It's called a quarter note. And this note only takes 1 beat. So that means I could fit 4 quarter notes in one section of music. The next note is a half note, which looks like this, and it has a value of 2 beats. That means I could put it as beats number 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. And finally, we have a whole note. The whole note takes up 4 beats. So that means I could only have 1 whole note in a measure of music. I'm going to play what we have on the screen right now, and you'll see how it sounds. I'm going to count the beats as I play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that was kind of boring. What you could do is basically mix and match different notes and make some cool rhythms. For example, in this song Yankee Doodle, the first measure has 4 quarter notes. The second measure has 2 quarter notes for beats number 1 and 2, and then a half note for beats number 3 and 4. And then again, we have 4 quarter notes. And in the fourth measure, we have 2 half notes, 1 on the C and then 1 on the B in the left hand. So I'm going to play the song through and you'll see how it sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could also write my own song and I could choose where I want the beats to be. I could put a quarter note for beat number 1, and then a half note for beats number 2 and 3 on the E, and then another quarter note for beat number 4 on the C. Then I could do a whole note on G, then a quarter note on F and E for beats number 1 and 2, and then a half note on C for beats number 3 and 4. And let's play that through. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, in order for you to get familiar with these concepts, repetition is key. The more you do it, the more you practice, the better you're going to get. And whatever I just taught you today is the basics and foundation for anything else you're going to learn. So getting these concepts down is super important. I would suggest that you buy this book and learn all the songs in it. Once you do and you get really good at those songs, you'll have those concepts really, really well. There are 3 more concepts that you have to know in order to play any beginner song. And the first one is a half note with a dot. When you see a half note with a dot, it basically means that instead of the half note being 2 beats, it's 3. The dot basically divides the note in half and adds that to the note itself. So 2 plus 1 is 3. The next concept is sharps and flats. A sharp basically looks like this. When you see this like number sign, this hashtag next to a note, it means that that note is sharp. If we have this note, which is a G sharp, instead of playing the regular G, I'm gonna go a half step to the right. And a half step just basically means that I play the note that's directly next to the G, which isn't the A, right? It's this black note right here. So that's the G sharp. And a G flat just means a half step to the left. So instead of me playing the G, I'm not going to the F because I can't skip this black note, right? That's G flat. If I asked you where D flat is, you would go to D. And again, remember, C is not the direct note after D. It's this one right here, the black one. So D, then D flat. D, then D sharp, right? Flat is to the left, sharp is to the right. The last concept is something called a tie. it basically connects two notes together. So this F and that F is connected, and I'm only going to play the first F while still holding down the F when I'm up to the next one. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Saw that? I didn't pick it up again. I just counted it as if I played it. All right, guys, so that's it for the basics of how to read sheet music. We learned a lot today, and I hope you got some value from it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll respond. I'm really here to help you guys through your journey of piano, so stay tuned for more.